Warning, spoilers ahead. Welcome to the Operation STRIX podcast. I am your host, LaCroix. Joining me today, as always, are Roski Draftsman.
Hello.
And Cool Blue Rays.
What's up?
I'm mixing it up over here. Hell yeah.
I wanted to try something new.
I love it. Today
Oh
we're
my
going to
God.
discuss chapter 69. Not at all. Well, it started off funny, but it wasn't anything that we were anticipating with all the dirty jokes we've been making the past few weeks. And then we'll also go over briefly episodes 2 and 3 of the, or 12, what was it, 14 and 15 of the anime.
Okay.
Season 1,
God.
episode 2 and 3. Or season 2, episode 1 and 3.
No.
God damn it.
No,
I'm all
wait,
mixed up right now.
Season 1,
Yeah.
second tour episode.
It's early in the
15.
morning. As you can tell, we're not all here right now.
A lot of this will get cut out. It's whatever. We don't have to
Probably
explain
not. I'll probably just keep most
No.
of it.
I mean, that's the best
But,
part.
okay.
The fact that
So-
we fuck up.
This chapter, guys, it was not anything I was anticipating, and Endo is so good at doing that to us. It started out about what I was expecting, which was just Eden Academy stuff.
Yeah.
And my eyes kind of went cross-eyed, and I was like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong. That Anya face is like,
So good.
it's gonna be the most like reblogged, retweeted meme for the next like 2 weeks. It's just
Absolutely.
like, it's probably gonna be the intro for
Absolutely.
this episode. Just letting y'all know.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine. That face is just, it's just good. It's just real, it's
Somebody,
just real.
somebody in the comments on Viz was like, that was like one of those faces that Endo had to do himself in order to like
Yeah.
convey
Get
it.
it
So
right.
like he probably
Reference.
looked in a mirror and made that face.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I love it.
I know the pain. Well, they're fun because
Roski, do you do faces in the mirror?
I think any
Okay.
artist would do it. Yeah.
Really?
Right,
I'm
that's
not an
the
artist,
most
so I wouldn't know.
normal artist thing you have. You know, you
Really?
actually
Yeah.
have
Taking
footage.
reference photos of yourself. Mhm.
Yeah, you actually have footage of Disney artists when they are animating. They have a mirror to do all the faces so they can reference them.
The more you know. Okay,
Mhm.
that's cool. All right. But it wasn't all funny faces this week. Terrorist plot on Eden Academy bus.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
That was like
No, I had made the joke earlier about the timing on that abridged episode is impeccable.
I
'Cause we-
know. Oh. Like, I have to admit, when I first saw the chapter with when the bus started going in a different direction, I thought it was just Lloyd in a
God,
disguise.
really? Yeah.
But I was so confused about like, wait, why aren't they going to a museum? What the fuck is Lloyd doing? And then
Yeah.
the guy from the opening showed up. It's like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
And then it all went to like hell
Went to hell
quickly.
so fast.
Like in
so fucking fast.
the last 5 pages or something.
Like Mr. Green getting shot at, like kids are like screaming. This
And
dude is
crying.
like, y'all are my I'm abducting all of you, and it's like, what the fuck? I mean, I knew right away when the bus didn't turn. I was like, okay, the terrorist dude's gonna show up, but like I didn't
Right.
think he was gonna be on that bus in the beginning. I was just like,
Yeah,
okay,
I know.
they're gonna like hold up the museum or something. It's like,
Yeah,
no.
me too. I thought
Yeah,
they were gonna
right?
get to the museum, and that's where they were gonna be like held hostage.
Right.
Yeah.
And Noob was saying that, or somebody was saying that. I was like,
makes
man,
more
I
sense.
really wanted museum shenanigans first.
Yeah, I mean that's
no
good
music.
material for comedy, but yeah, the boss being the place to hold them hostage is it makes more sense for a lot of reasons.
It's a good move, which is concerning because that means this guy's probably a real threat, not just some goofy villain. Which
Yeah.
is ironic because he kind of reminds me of Daybreak with the hair.
The evil Daybreak, yeah.
Yeah, evil Daybreak. But his name's fucking Billy Squire. It's like
Billy Squire, which
I'm so curious if that name is based off another character or something that Endo was inspired by any
I don't
chance.
know. I googled the name Billy Squire. It's it was a rock artist from the 80s. I don't know if that has anything to do with it, but
I
uh,
mean,
no, I was more surprised of the fact that it's the Red Circus leader, or like one of the Red Circus leaders, which
Yes, he is the leader, I think.
yeah, which is the group that Yor took out in the date chapter back like chapter
Forever
14.1 or
ago.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Someone pointed out that means like, oh, they have to animate the date scene now because the Red Circus came back.
I love that's the first thing people go to. Is like,
Yeah, it's like
bus is getting held up. Oh, date chapter.
it has to
Yeah,
be in the anime now.
Right,
It's been
confirmed.
justified. Yeah, date chapter confirmed. Red Circus
Right.
continuity. Haha.
Oh.
I mean, I at this point I'm not sure if that was the thing that Endo had in mind, or he was just like, fuck it, I'm not
Fuck it.
making another
Yeah.
fictional name. I'm just gonna reuse one. Because
I just
yeah,
think it was
at some point you
surprising
have
to
to
get.
stop adding new shit to your world.
I thought it was interesting that we finally saw the head chief or whatever of the SSS because we haven't seen him since Yuri's introduction chapter.
Right.
It's been
Yeah.
a really long time.
And even
Yeah.
then, he didn't seem like, I don't know.
He's not really
He strikes
much
me as
of
like a
anything.
figurehead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's just
but-
like, I don't think he does anything. I think he's just
He's just the manager. He doesn't do any of the actual heavy lifting. I
Yeah.
don't think.
But
Nah.
that's also pretty interesting because usually when we have chapters like this, it's Wise that gives the intel, and this time it's the SSS that are giving the intel. So
right, which
that
is
means
what's leading some people to say that this is going to be the Yuri arc that we've been wanting. Which
Right.
I'd
This
be
would
all
be a
for.
good way. This would be a good way to do it. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I mean, it's not a guaranteed, but I'm up for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the speculation with this chapter is going to be all over the place because we've got people saying it's going to be Yor and Lloyd coming in to save the day.
Yeah.
It's going to be Mr. Green. It's going to be Martha coming in to save Becky.
Or it's going to be like the kids save themselves, which
Right.
I doubt. As
Well,
a
that
more
was a
comedic thing.
yeah, that was another one I had just saw right before we started. It was like, oh, this is how Anya's going to get her other Stella stars. It's like she's going to save the day, and I was like, I don't. Part of me doesn't want that to happen, and then the other part of me is like, that's such an Endo thing to do. Like he might do that.
Yeah.
But I kind of hope not. Yeah, no.
I don't really want that.
I think the threat here is a little too serious for that. Like,
yeah. Once
Yeah,
you pulled
when
out the shotgun, all bets were off.
Yeah, when I initially read this, like it hadn't really sunk in, so I was just thinking, oh, it's going to be another, you think it's serious, and then they're going to just completely overwrite it or whatever with something ridiculous. That was my first thought because I'm not going to lie, I've been feeling kind of unexcited about Spike's family for like the past couple weeks.
No, I feel that.
I don't know. I feel it's because it doesn't feel like anything really interesting and new has been happening with the manga, and I already kind of know what happens with the anime. Like the episodes are fine, but I don't feel excited right now for anything. So when I saw this, like it hadn't really sunk in that this was actually serious. All I kept thinking is, oh, it's not going to be serious again. They're just going to fucking trick us because that's what always happens.
Right.
no.
And No,
Nope.
it's actually more serious. So once again, I was wrong.
Well,
Yeah, it's
we're usually wrong when it comes to Endo. So.
Yeah.
it's like it's that whiplash that no, it's not gonna be oh shit, it's gonna be serious, and then this is gonna be serious. No, it's more shenanigans. And it was like
Yeah.
the like pick a side.
Right, right. It does. It is very tiring, like the waffling that Endo does. Um, even with this chapter, like I said, this is going to be I'm assuming this is going to be a bigger arc of uh more action, more serious tones, but at the same time, it's like, okay, we still got to get through the Eden Academy stuff, and like, I am curious to see how the kids are going to be involved in this because like you said, Blue, there's not a whole lot that they can do with it because it's kids and these guys are not afraid to shoot people and take an entire bus of first graders hostage with the
Oh,
threat of killing them. So
that
like,
just reminded me. People were also speculating if the Red Circus group specifically targeted this bus because they either wanted Damien or Anya. My guess is they might be going after Damien if
yeah,
that was where
definitely.
this was going because he is the son of a very prominent politician and this group is kind of leaning with kind of the political landscape of the countries anyway.
Right.
Um but I'm not sure. I think they just happened to grab this bus and, that was really it. I don't really think they're here to target anyone. Um but
That,
I am really curious about the kids' parents,
right.
like how are they going to be involved? Not just Lloyd and Yor, but how are like Damien's parents going to react to finding out that their
I was
son
thinking that same
was
thing too.
hijacked on a bus? Like, are they actually going to even be slightly afraid for their son's safety, or are they just going to put on a good front
I don't
for the
think so.
public?
I just think so.
Probably,
I
probably
think
they're
that
just
this
going to
is
put up a
gonna be
good
a
front.
breaking point for Damien.
I don't think so at all.
I think this is gonna be a
Breaking point.
breaking point
I
for
don't know
Damien.
about
I don't
that.
know if a breaking point is the right point, but it's gonna be a turning point because
But you mean like a
Like an
chip in
ultimatum.
that kind of armor or something? Like, well,
Or
that's
like
not
this
what
is
I
where he
mean.
has to confront the feeling that like his parents don't care.
it also starts focused on Damien and Anya's relationship. He's finally trying to give her her cake.
Oh.
Oh yes,
Oh yes, the cake.
So
and then his best friends eat it because he wasn't willing to tell them it was for Anya.
Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
yeah, it's. I mean, that's
Oh
goofy as
yeah.
hell, but I do think this is gonna lead to some development for Damien in some way or capacity. So I'm not sure where it's gonna lead, but
I think at the very least, this might be the turning point for Anya and Damien to become friends. Just because
Yeah.
this is a very well, when you have people in a traumatic situation together, it's the most fucked up way to bond with someone because you both have gone through that situation
Right.
together. So I could see that happening, maybe. Um, but I am curious about the parents if they're going to show up, if there's going to be like a riot at Eden Academy about like how could you let a fucking terrorist get onto even have like the fucking one of them be the bus driver. Like that's a serious issue for their security.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
has to be addressed because these are nepotism babies.
Oh yes.
At Eden Academy, they are children of very important people. The idea that a terrorist could so easily take over one of their buses and kidnap like an entire class of children, that's crazy. The
Yeah.
Eden Academy is about to have a lot of angry parents up their ass.
Well, and that's the thing too is like, and Roski's gone. Okay. All right. So, Roski's internet was acting up. Unfortunately, he can't contribute to the conversation. He's still listening in with us. But no. So, okay. Uh, back to what we were discussing. I think with in regards to Damien and like his whole what Roski was saying about like him and Anya, finally coming to terms with their friendship and all of that. But I think it's also going to be like an ultimatum with his parents, because I
Ooh,
don't think his parents are going to care about this. Like, that is my
right.
sneaking suspicion about all of this, is just like, Lloyd, you're the Black Bells, like Martha, Mr. Green, they're all gonna be like, sweating bullets, worrying about their kids, and meanwhile the
Right.
Desmonds are just gonna be like, oh, that's unfortunate, and leave it
Ugh.
at that. And
Mm.
Damien's either gonna know directly about that, or somebody's gonna tell him about it, and he's just gonna be like, I don't, fuck me, I
Right.
guess, like.
Oh. I have a feeling it could go in either direction personally. I
Mhm.
think that there's a very good chance that if he was smart, Desmond would use this stunt kind of as like a way to back his political party even further about foreigners, evil foreigners coming to the country and hurting their
Ooh, I didn't even
children.
think about that.
Um, which would be really good fodder for potential stuff with the peace breaking and whatnot.
Yeah.
My words are failing me a little bit,
No,
but
I get what you're saying.
I think that there's a lot here that could happen that would be very beneficial to Desmond, and it would be dumb of him not to take advantage of it.
True.
As like he can paint himself as a concerning father and as a citizen,
Hmm.
whatever. Like this would be really good for him, and
Ooh.
either way,
Yeah.
I think I would hope that Damien would be able to sense that, oh, my father doesn't actually care that I got hurt. He's pretending to care,
Right.
but he's actually really happy that this happened because it improves his, political party's influence on people, and everything.
Yeah.
That's what I think could happen, and I think that would probably be the smarter move. But I could also see them not caring, but I think that would be really dumb if they were to go that route.
Right.
Because this could prove to be very beneficial, um, in a lot of ways for the Desmond family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh, like I could see Melinda not caring, but no one's really going to pay attention to her per se. Uh,
Right.
but it would also be in her best interest to come off as a concerning mother.
I
Um,
don't think she would, though. I don't think she cares.
I think she'd
I,
pretend to for the cameras, but not anywhere else.
um.
I think
Well, yeah.
maybe,
I don't know. And that's the thing too. Is like there's there's so much that we can pull from this,
right,
and there's a lot. There's a lot of factors that are coming into this. Like, okay, so we don't know if Wise knows about Red Circus,
right.
because, and here's the thing too, is like, going all the way back to the date chapter, Lloyd was hearing about Red Circus through the TV. He wasn't even hearing about it through Wise. So like, I don't even know if like he's aware of their presence. Um, I
I
don't
don't.
know.
I don't
Well,
think
go ahead.
Wise concerns himself with the underworld because that's really more Garden's territory of things.
True.
To be fair, Wise is. I mean, they do things in the dark and they do it very secretly, but they're more focused on important political figures or
Right.
people with like important reputations that could ultimately influence a population of people within the countries.
Right.
So I don't. I mean, I say that, but I remember that Lloyd has done some few missions where he was breaking up like illegal gambling and like thief stuff. So I wouldn't say it's all of it, but I think a majority of Wise's focus is kind of on the prominent people who kind of run the country in the like front line sort of thing.
Yeah, that's
While
fair.
for Yor and Garden, they kind of work with like the underground, the people who are maybe behind the scenes with a lot of this stuff. Um,
Yeah.
but I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if Red Circus is going to become a bigger thing or if it's just they're going to be taken care of by like literally the end of this mini arc.
Right.
Because that seems to happen a lot, to be honest.
Right. Well, here's my thing, and one of our viewers had brought this up a few podcasts ago. I don't even remember which one it was, but what the heck was his name? Hapoon, the underworld usurper.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
maybe he's gonna come play into this because I mean we haven't heard about Red Circus in forever, and now
Right.
they're back, and maybe that has something to do with Harpoon. Like maybe he's going around like consolidating all the terrorist groups to I don't know what, do something, fuck over Ostania, or I don't know. But this would be a good arc to bring him back and maybe
Right.
expand on, maybe won't say bring in a villain because we already have Desmond, but like maybe he's like the real villain of the story is Harpoon, and like he's trying to take over the government through any means necessary. Whereas,
I could see that.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah, I could see that.
Desmond strikes me as a very flawed person, but I don't think he's evil, and I don't think he's the real villain of this story, even though that's how we've set it up this entire time.
I can honestly believe that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Because we don't really have a lot on Desmond to begin with. Like we got
Mhm.
one appearance with him and Melinda, and I don't think it's so weird. It's like we got like literally a chapter introducing them, and it feels like we took practically nothing away from who they really are.
Right. Just more questions.
Yeah, pretty much. And I did want to mention, if we're going to talk about the Desmonds, I know that I have given up on Demetrius. I have.
Right.
But I am curious about, well, this is literally regarding a family member. I am curious if there's going to be any mention of him, like, being concerned whatsoever, just not even caring.
Right.
Like, I don't know. And I only say this because someone wrote a really good, cute fic about Demetrius meeting Anya. I was like, I was like finally free of this shit, you know? And he just dragged me back in.
You're roping me back in, yeah.
So I'm a little curious, just because this directly has to do with Damien now. Like, his life is in danger.
Right.
You know, all of these kids' lives are in danger right now.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't even know what I'm saying about it, but I just
right. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, it's like, okay, it's to me basically it's like, okay, here's this lighthearted chapter, blah 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 blah, and then like the last 2 pages, like here's a bomb, it's about to go off. And that's it. And then it just cuts off, and you're like, "Wait, what the hell is gonna happen next?" Like
I don't have time to process this. Are you kidding me right now?
Right, and that's what it feels like. It's like
I know
it's a plot bomb. That's what it is. It's a fucking plot bomb.
It's a plot bomb. It's a plot scare.
It's a plot scare. Scary plot bomb.
Because you start off with, okay, it's just the kids going to a field trip, sure, and Damien and Anya are fighting because of course they're fighting.
Right.
And Anya thinks that, hey, if I can create an incident where Damien is a piece of shit to me and everyone hates him and I defend him, he'll like me.
Right.
And then obviously it didn't go her way. And you think, okay, that's just going to be it. Like, they're just going to be stupid.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, wait, why is it continuing? Like, why is the chapter still continuing? I do think... I guess Mr. Green kind of is sort of like, is he like security? That's what they said he was, right?
I believe he was security.
Okay, yeah, because it's like, oh, okay, they actually have him following all the buses and noticing this shit, which is good. Like, okay, I have to say that they technically did obviously have some kind of security to watch out for the kids, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough security.
Yeah.
Because the threat turned out to be so much bigger than any of them could have anticipated.
Right.
Like an actual terrorist who has guns and shoots up a car and tases the teacher.
Yeah.
I thought that guy got shot at first. Instead of being tased.
I did too.
I was like, oh, are they just going to watch a dead body? What the fuck? Like, oh, no, he just got tased. Thank God.
Right. Which I don't know if they had tasers back then, but
oh
I'm
god,
sure
Roski's probably
gonna put that in the comments.
Scrambling in the chat, like, actually they did have tasers, or they didn't. I'm gonna look it up. Tasers invented. When were tasers? They were invented mid-70s.
Really?
So I mean, Roski's whole thing about like, no, they're in the 70s. It's not the 60s. That could be maybe accurate now.
Yeah. But going back to go back to way back when we were talking about them targeting Damien. I don't think they were targeting Damien
I don't
because
think so either.
they took 2 buses. They took
Right.
bus 2 and 3. So I think they just like luck of the draw, or they probably specifically took those 2 because they weren't the lead buses, and that would have
Right.
caused more suspicion if they went off course.
Right,
So
right.
I don't know. There's that little detail, and
I mean, there's a lot of different things that could happen. Like, there's a lot of different characters that could get involved in this to stop the terrorist attack,
yeah,
or hijacking of the bus. The obvious choices would be Lloyd and Yor, but I am under the impression right now that they have no idea what's going on, and they're not going to figure it out till someone literally calls them saying, "Hey, there was an incident and your daughter got hijacked on the bus. Sorry."
See, and I'm looking at the last page right now, and where he's like, "You'll, if you want to live, you'll do exactly what we say."
Right.
I'm thinking maybe, and this is a stretch because I don't know how loose Endo's gonna play with it, but like maybe they
Yeah.
have like a walkie-talkie on there or something, and they'll get in contact with the outside, and like he'll tell the kids like, okay, like tell mommy and daddy to like wire us money or like something
I
along
could
those
see
lines.
that. I could see that.
And so
Yeah.
Anya calls up Lloyd, and Lloyd's like, "Oh fuck no!" And him and Yor.
I really hope we get some Pharaoh Lloyd in Yor.
Oh my god,
You
Pharaoh
know?
Lloyd's back, baby. At least
I
hope he
really
is.
want Pharaoh Lloyd to be back and just like, how fucking dare you try to touch my daughter?
That's
or,
what I'm hoping for
I
this.
I really hope Lloyd's just like, you know what? I'm gonna go sicko mode right now.
Right, because we haven't got like a moment with them. We really haven't got any moment with Lloyd and Anya. I mean, besides like the boat arc, but that wasn't like anything super serious. Like
It was really more cute, if anything.
Right. We need like a father-daughter moment because we've had plenty with Yor and Anya of like Mama Bear, but like I want I want Papa Bear fucking going off like, don't you touch my child,
Oh yeah. I really want like interrogation scene where Lloyd's the one smashing Billy's face into an ashtray now.
Hell yeah.
Or something
that.
like that. Like
Right.
I would enjoy that personally. I think Lloyd's been in like deep into protective mode recently because like Melinda's been around, so he's been protective of Yor, and now Billy is coming around, so he's gonna be really protective of Anya. I can only imagine how he'd feel like as technically a parent, like being like, can I even trust Eden with Anya? Like, is her safety, like, I want him to start questioning, like, is her safety worth this mission? Because I almost just lost her today. And, it's for the mission, it's for world peace, but is it worth it if I'm going to have to worry about losing my daughter in the process?
Do you think that's where they're going to go with it? Because
I would love if Lloyd would start questioning, like, is this mission worth it anymore at some point? Because, because Lloyd's been, like, even just, okay, recently with the whole episodes, like, we literally just had Lloyd when he was watching Anya and Bond telling himself, like, who am I to tell Anya to take care of Bond? I'm not going to be here with the Forgers once this mission is over. But with this whole situation, this could maybe be the catalyst for Lloyd to consider, is this mission worth it anymore, because I'm putting innocent people in jeopardy. Like, will it be worth it? I think that there could be some kind of inkling that could happen here for Lloyd, reconsidering how much this mission is really worth it, if it's going to hurt the people he begrudgingly cares about.
Oh, definitely.
Because this is a very scary situation. There's a lot that could happen here. And it would be interesting to see the parallels between kind of Lloyd with Anya versus the Desmonds with Damien.
Yeah, that would be great to see, especially because, like you were saying, like we Lloyd's been in protective mode lately.
Yeah.
And I want him, like what you're saying, to confront the idea that like this is a 4-year-old girl and I'm using her for my benefit. And like he already feels bad about it. Like we already know he's had all these internal dilemmas and stuff like that. But like I want this to be his breaking point of like, whether or not he gets involved before or after the fact. I don't honestly, I don't care at this point.
But I just want him to feel guilt.
Yes,
I just want him to feel terrible about this whole situation, and to really take something away from, he did almost lose Anya. He could have lost Anya from this situation, and all of it stems from the fact that he picked her out from the orphanage. He got her in Eden Academy. He got her into the same class as Damien. Like, he's done a lot to improve Anya's life, but at the same time, she's been put in a lot more riskier situations because of it. Lloyd should feel genuinely guilty about this, I think. Like, even though it's not his fault, like, his choices led to Anya being kind of stuck in the situation. And, like, I hope that he's with Yor being angry as, like, legitimate parents with Eden Academy about their security, even though it would make his job harder. I mean, isn't the safety of his daughter worth it to make sure that she would be put in this situation again? It's a lot to think about.
Well, it's a lot of potential of, like, this. I'm hesitant to say this might be the turning point for the manga, but it might. Of, like,
it could be, but I am not holding out hope quite yet.
Well, yeah, I have to see more for sure, but, like, I just think that, like, this could be the turning point of, like, this is where Lloyd finally understands the ramifications of, like, what he's doing and, like, the people he's putting in harm's way, and whether or not we're going to get, like what you're saying, a reconsideration of, I don't need Operation Strix to get to Desmond. I got other means. Like, I could just kill him, or, like, so maybe. And, like, maybe that's where, like, we start tackling some of the darker tones of the series that, like, we hint at every once in a while. Just, like, like, how far am I going to go for this, basically? Of just, like, what, for, like, even though Lloyd has no qualms about killing anybody, like, it's not his first, like, it's not his first go-to, like, that's yours department, but, like, him is like, I'm gonna try to understand people, and if I can't, I'll kill them, but.
And I want to point out, this is the first time, I think, besides chapter 1, when when he knew that Anya was, like, in immediate danger, because he doesn't know the full details about what happened with the bombing dog situation. Anya probably didn't tell Yor, of course, and Yor could only give Lloyd the details of what she saw and what Anya told her, probably. But this is, I think, the first time, like, Anya is directly put in danger with really dangerous individuals. Obviously that would put Lloyd in a really fucked up emotional state. So all of that being said, it could lead to a really good chapter if Endo is playing his cards right with what he's going to do with Lloyd and Yor and potentially other characters, or, like, what this could potentially mean about, like, are we going to get more introduction on Garden stuff finally? Then are we going to get more stuff on the underworld or shadow government? Because this is Red Circus is directly connected to that.
Ooh,
like, is Lloyd going to get involved in that? Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Like, we were talking about Lloyd confronting things.
Yeah.
You're at this point, because maybe I want both. Maybe I want both the forgers to just break this. Yeah. Like, I want both, because Yor supposedly had taken out all the Red Circus people. That was her job, and clearly she didn't. So, like, is this gonna be the guilty moment for her now? Is, like, I failed, and now my daughter is in danger, and, like, she's having this dilemma while Lloyd's having the other dilemma, and it's like, the entire Forger house is just, like, broken. And, like, I know. Well, it's terrible, but it would be so good. Like, the payoff for that, like, the character development and the plot progression, like, of that, of just, like, I hate to say it, because I don't hate to say it. I'm gonna say it proudly. Is your story is only as good as the amount of shit that you put your characters through. Okay, like
Yeah.
whether or not the payoff at the end is good or bad, like overcoming obstacles and like being, inundated on all sides by conflict and resolutions, that's what makes stories interesting. Okay,
Right.
and I think that's the problem, or that's a recurring problem with Spy Family, is like when you get these long strings of nothing happening, it doesn't feel fulfilling because there's no conflict, or if there is a conflict, it's very minor and it's like it doesn't even matter in the grand scheme of things. But like here, this could be game changing right here, of just like, this is where everybody realizes that, they're a family, that they don't want their families to get hurt, and what are we going to do in order to prevent that from happening in the future.
Right.
And I think that's the major draw of this series, and this would be the perfect opportunity to revisit that and reevaluate, everything.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, if we
So
just get some comedy shit with Lloyd and Yor being like, huh, what the hell happened? I'm gonna fucking lose my mind.
no, I don't think so.
I don't think so, but
Yeah, because
you never know.
Well, I'm pretty safe to say that I don't think, because I mean, once he pulled out the gun and started shooting in front of first graders, I think all bets were off at that point. Like, Endo is in full
Yeah.
angst mode right now, and I don't think he's gonna bounce back to comedy, because he's usually pretty good about that. Like, if it's serious, he'll keep it serious.
Okay, all right. Well,
yeah.
I'm gonna hold you to that, Crow. You're making me excited now, and I
Quote
really
me.
didn't want to get excited.
Quote me. Listen, I'm preaching. Listen. Gather around, my children. Yes.
The fucking Cult of the Lamb right now. Cult of the
I love
Crow.
that. Yeah, Cult of the Crow.
Cult of the Crow.
Oh god. Okay.
Oh my god.
So that's where we're at with the chapter. I'm like, now that we've had this discussion, I am super hyped for the next chapter.
Same. You've made me excited.
Well, it's funny too, because like when we started this, we were kind of. I mean, I'm sure you could hear it in the podcast, but we were kind of. But now we're like, yeah, like I'm so fucking hyped.
Yeah,
Like,
a little excited.
There's so much we can do with it. And hopefully we get something like that in the next coming chapters, but we'll have to wait and see, like we always do.
All right.
But
I wanted to
move it. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to say something. This is regarding kind of the manga. So you know how we talked about before about how Endo, it was made out to seem like Endo doesn't like Spike's family. He doesn't like these characters or doesn't care for them on some level. So as it turns out, the headline for that was bullshit. It's taken out of context kind of thing. Because there was someone on Twitter who apparently, like, I think went through the article or something, and the Twitter user was The Great Abyss, and they said, I bring good news. The headline is totally made up. Endo never said that. Here's a link to the interview. Endo was just joking about how he gave up on his earlier habit of drawing characters in unattractive styles and ended up making Lloyd super handsome.
Hell yeah.
So he doesn't actually care about, he does care about Spike's family, and he was joking. But yeah, everyone was kind of like spiraling, thinking, oh my god, Endo hates Spike's family. Because the original article that this came from, the title, the headline he put was Spike's family creator doesn't like Anya or the rest of the characters.
Very it's sensationalized. Horrible.
Yeah, completely.
And like I never got that impression. Like,
oh no, I was hoping.
Right,
I was hoping not.
You never know for sure, but
of course, yeah. Because I mean, some people are very good at hiding the fact that they hate what they do or that they hate certain things. I'm not one of those people. If I hate something, you'll know. I can't hide it. Yeah. But I'm really happy to see that Endo actually is very content and satisfied with what he's doing right now with Spike's family, because I respect him as an artist and as a creator. That I would understand what it would be like to be stuck in a position where, like, I am making crap and I'm not proud or happy about it, but I have to do it for a paycheck, you know? I get that. I am just glad we got to clear that up and it wasn't actually the case. You know, there's only so much we can know about Endo being people who are English readers. across the world, and
Right.
he is in Japan doing
Yes.
interviews, but like not all of them like get to be translated. So like there's only so much information we can gain.
And always take those fan translations with a grain of salt. Like
Yeah.
I don't 100% trust anything that isn't officially translated.
That's fair.
Like I only honestly look at like fan translations of like, you know, if it's like, you know, the novel or like, you know, a small tweet that Endo did that like isn't important, but if it's like, you know, if it's an interview in regards to like his, you know, his artistic process or anything like that, I'm like, okay, like I'm just gonna wait for the official translation on this, because, you know, anyone could say anything and be like, oh, this is what he said, and then it'll take months or years for somebody to correct them, and the damage is already done.
It's crazy. Yeah. I wish I don't know what the landscape of kind of like anime creator words being taken out of context are for anime fans who aren't Japanese and don't understand it. Like I don't know what the landscape is like, or like if there's like a huge disconnect, but I hope that it gets improved over time, because I mean, even like this was a huge misunderstanding. And I would say most people did not think to correct it, because, you know, it's like, how can you find any other source? Like, I don't have a fucking Japanese translator on hand who I can be like, hey, can you like translate this entire article for me? You know, like I don't have that at my disposal. If I did, that'd be great. There'd be less.
Yeah, you know, I wouldn't need the crappy translation then.
Yeah, but I don't have that, so there's only so much. But yeah, you're right. You know, like taking that with a grain of salt is probably the best piece of advice you can give to someone when it comes to this kind of thing.
Yeah, it's true of life. Take everything with a grain of salt.
If you can, yes, yeah.
If you can.
Mm-hmm. But, okay.
So...
Let's move on to
anime.
The anime.
The finale of the Inusan Crisis, because we didn't talk about Season 2, Episode 2, so we're talking about episode 2 and episode 3. It's so like jumbled up.
I just call them 14 and 15. They're still considered 14 part of season
14 and 15. 1. But see, then I don't even remember the numbers on that. So I'm just terrible at numbers. This bird don't know math. No. So okay, okay. Specifically, episode 14, the one with Handler, or Handler's speech. That speech was done so beautifully, and I know I don't know. Some people were complaining about it on the server, and I know some of them walked back on that and said it was good afterwards. I think the issue was they didn't have subtitles when they were watching that originally, and they don't know what she was saying.
Right,
and like
so the words
there was a lot of cutaways.
A bit.
Right, there was a lot of cutaways, and like they were like, "Oh, it's not as impactful." But when you actually see the words and like, you know, see what she's saying and like how she's saying it, it's like it was a really powerful moment.
Yeah, it was.
And I think they did that justice.
Just the delivery of how quietly infuriated I think Sylvia came across was beautifully done by the voice actress. She did a phenomenal job with that performance.
Oh, definitely.
Because you're just like sitting there in quiet anticipation, like you think she's gonna lose it. She doesn't lose it. Yeah. She stays completely calm, and she's bashing in faces and like got her silence gun out. Yeah, she's completely 100% confident and calm and collected. During
she can pull that trigger at any moment, and you
like you wouldn't even know it. Because she's not affected. Like, that is such an amazing moment for Sylvia. I think, like, it was a perfect showcase of who she is as a character. Like, you don't fuck with Handler.
Do not fuck with Handler.
You don't fuck with Full Metal Lady.
Oh, yeah.
At all.
Right.
Like, now, you know, you like, when you see her like that, I think you better understand, like, oh, this is why Lloyd does not fuck with her. Like, ever. Because,
and also,
you know,
why he
your first
her.
Introduction. Sorry, Crow.
No, you're good. Go, keep going.
I was just going to say, you know, with Sylvia's first introduction, you know, she's playing it off really funny. She's, like, pissed off comedically. And you're just like, oh, you know, she's, you know, just his boss. You know, it's casual. But then you get to that scene, it's like, oh, no. She does not fuck around when she doesn't want to fuck around. Like, she can play it up whenever she feels like it. But when she's serious, you'll know it, you know?
And, like,
so it was really great.
Yeah, I like that. I like that dichotomy too of like we were saying in the beginning, where it's like her and Lloyd are a strange mix of like coworkers, but also partners, but also she's his superior. So it's like, and they've known each other for 10 years, so like they can get
Right.
away with shit like that. But
Yeah,
like this
but like
is like,
Sylvia's absolutely like earned her respect from
Oh, yeah.
Lloyd and from like any of
and
the other
fear.
wise agents. Yeah, and fear, that's true. But she's completely like earned that, and you don't even think to question it when she does something like this.
Right.
With the terrorist attack.
Yeah. And you
It was
like
great.
you were
Anyway.
saying, you could really get the sense of like how angry she was. And one thing I really loved about the anime is the smallest little detail is like when Lloyd is driving away to like the moment before the bomb where him and the guys are in the car and he's driving away. And
Right.
like he's thinking back to what Sylvia was saying, and like he grips the steering wheel hard, like he's
Ooh.
pissed off. And I'm
Right.
like,
He was controlling it for a while, then he's like letting it loose. But you can tell, like, even though it was such a small gesture, that meant
Yeah.
a lot.
It
you know?
did, and
Yeah.
it really humanizes him, and that's what I like to see. Is and what something that the anime does really well is humanizing Lloyd and like putting it in
Yes.
context that like you know he's not a robot, you know, even though it comes across like that a lot in the manga, but
Yeah.
but like he like right here, like I love when he loses control, at least in you know any small capacity, I guess, but.
Right.
No,
You know,
I mean,
actually speaking on that a little bit.
yeah.
Well, this comes in episode. Oh my god, episode 15, when Lloyd shoots the bomb off the dog, and you know, like the dog rips into his arm, and he tosses the dog into the dumpster, and you know. He's like being cool and badass. I remember at the time I was a little disappointed because they had like that little funny bit of extra dialogue in the manga where he says like, even though this is like stab proof suit, it hurts like hell.
Yeah.
I'm kind of actually glad now that they removed it so they didn't take away from how amazing that scene was.
Yeah,
like a very heroic kind of thing.
Well, because they replaced it with you could actually see like the mesh underneath his sleeve, so he didn't need to say anything. Like you could already tell because it kind of zoomed in a little bit.
Right, so they were smart.
But you're right.
They
like
smart.
If he had said that,
it would have ruined it, I think, or it would have played it off
it was
differently.
Great.
So yeah, I think
I
think now that you know we've been watching this. We've gotten into the second core of season 1. I think I'm going to be able to start appreciating more like, okay, they made these changes, but they had a very good intention for it. And it actually helped elevate a scene rather than hinder it.
Right.
So I am probably going to be able to notice that maybe more going on now, you know, with like everything we're talking about, especially because like they played it so straight, so seriously for like all the wise bits. It was like so fantastic. With Sylvia and Lloyd and like they still had comedy stuff. They still had like Anya being herself with Mr. Doggy and everything. But you know, like after everything that's said and done with how crazy all of the fighting was and like just all of this like great shit, you know, we got to have all the sweetness of them being a family together and bringing Bond home and taking care of him.
That episode gave me diabetes. It was ridiculously sweet. Like I loved it.
I was so heartbroken when they showed off the scene of like Bond thinking back to his treatment because like you know it hurts in the manga, but hearing it
was really bad. Yeah,
it really hurt me because you think, okay, I can handle it. I know what's happening. And then they actually play it, and like the acting is perfect. And then there's the sound effects and like the jolting of like poor Bond's body as they're like fucking electrocuting
and his like
him.
body is seizing, and it's like, I know, man.
Yeah, I know. It was really hard to watch. Absolutely,
it was like me and Mrs. Crow were watching it, and like our dog was curled up on her lap when she saw that part, and I looked at her and she just gave me like this pouty, like, oh my god, like this is terrible, and I was like, yeah, I know, but it's okay now because Bond's with his family.
Yeah, no, any kind of animal cruelty, just fuck.
We don't fuck around with that, man.
Yeah, no, God, like, oh man, if you're gonna hurt the dog, fuck you, man.
Yeah, fuck you, man. If that dog dies, you die.
Yeah. It was, you know, I looking back on it now and talking to you about it, I feel a lot better. I think just having watched it, because at the time I was like, okay, that was great. I don't really care anymore, but it was fine. Now I feel like I actually care because I had to think up like what were actually really great parts about it. Like what did I actually really enjoy? Like, oh yeah, no, they were done really well. All the parts I enjoyed, they were done really well, even when it got to like the silly bits.
No, I thought they knocked it out of the park these past few episodes.
Yeah, I think they did too. They're moving at a really good pace. Like I didn't
They
feel like at
are.
all that we're stalled or something.
Yeah.
Like I think they've made really good timing with everything that happened with the Inusan Crisis, and then moving forward with Bond being home, and then Anya, of course, trying to impress Damien with her dog. And of course, then we jump into her being cute with Bond, and then Lloyd being depressed.
Yeah.
Yo,
okay, so
no.
how did you feel about that scene?
I think that it was played really well. Iguchi,
Okay.
his
Yes,
performance,
Iguchi was
I
good.
think, always brings like 110% with his performance of Lloyd's character, whether it's him being ridiculous
Yeah.
or whether he's being super serious, or even in these like kind of melancholy moments where he's actually genuinely kind of, who am I? He's calling himself a hypocrite. Like, how can I sit here and tell Anya to make sure to take care of this creature for its entire life when I'm not going to do that for her?
Right.
You believe it when he says it. So
Yeah.
I think it was well done, for what it was, for what it's worth. But
Yeah.
how did you feel about it, Crow? Because I'm assuming you have maybe a different opinion about it based
no,
off your question.
It's strange because like I think it was like you said, I think it was done well. Oguchi did a good job. I don't know, like something about like the presentation of it. I guess I don't know how to describe it.
I was gonna say like maybe it's because like, well, Lloyd is so kind of emotionless with his face, and you pointed out that you liked how he gripped the steering wheel when he was thinking back on Sylvia. Maybe what you wanted was his body language or something in his body to indicate that he is actually more troubled by this thought that he would let on through like kind of like his face or his voice even.
Maybe. I think it was more impactful in the manga, and I know we say that a lot, and
right.
But I think I don't know, like in the anime presented it like I don't know if you noticed, but like he was like his color was like washed out,
right,
and
then like the shadows and stuff.
Yeah, and like you couldn't see his face, but like I don't know, like in the manga, it just seemed like he was normal, but he was staring out at Anya, like, and like his eyes. I think I don't honestly don't remember if they showed his eyes like that in the anime or not. I have to go back and double check.
Sure.
But like the way they drew his eyes in the manga was just like so pensive and just like remorseful and guilty, and I was like, yeah, I love that panel. That's one of my favorite panels, and I didn't get that same feeling with the anime. I still think they did it well, like you said. I
maybe it's because they kind of focused more on like Iguchi's performance has to sell this moment more so than like the emotions on his face, and because obviously it's a manga, there's not going to be voices coming out of the book. We can only take so much away from the expressions and the body language like drawn out for us. The anime can elevate that because they have vocal performances or musical cues. I think that's why it was changed for that reason. Maybe potentially, it's hard to say.
It's a stylistic choice,
but I'm sure
it's
like
me personally.
But I think that they've done a really good job so far with all these episodes, and I hope that they continue with this pace. I can't remember right now what happens after this. Do you remember?
It's going to be the cooking one with Camilla,
right? With
and
the preview,
the Frankie trying to get the girl. Was it the coffee? Not the coffee girl. The cigar lady.
Cigar shop girl.
Which one of the ladies is Frankie trying to woo this time?
I'm trying to remember if the art school project thing also comes up soon. Doesn't that? With because they got the new photo done with Bond, and that's when Becky's crush for Lloyd starts.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So I think that's coming up pretty soon too. Actually,
it should. Yeah. Okay. I think it's probably after. Well, in the, you know what? I think in the manga that already happened. I think that happened before.
No. It's because Anya got a new photo done with Bond in it. So Bond came when that photo
you're
was
right.
taken.
It's probably the
but
episode after then, because it's pretty early on.
Probably.
But that'll be cute too.
Yeah, I'll have to double check on that, but
Yeah.
I think there's a lot to look forward to, like, coming up. We're gonna dull down to sort of like more kind of silly, cute shit again.
Well, at least in the anime, manga not so
well,
much.
yes, yeah, it's true. Yeah, in the anime we're kind of dialing down. In the manga, we're actually dialing back up.
Hell yeah!
I think
cool with
that's
that.
kind of, I think that might be kind of the thing. Is like, well, like I said before, I didn't really feel super excited about what was going on with Spike's family, at least at the start of this podcast, because wasn't sure what was going on with the manga. I wasn't sure if it was going to be super serious. I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. Like, I was trying my best not to overthink it, because I was like, oh, I don't want to hype myself up for something that just might never happen, because
of course
we always do that to ourselves, and then we're always like super disappointed. And I was like, I'm tired of doing that, because it just sucks. But I think that this is very promising.
I like what you were saying of like, well, anime's the manga's picking up, anime's kind of smoothing out a little bit. It kind of gives me a nice little variety.
Balance.
Especially in regards to like just like going back to the episode 15 of like, I love the moment where Blonde and Anya are asleep, and like, because that's like one of my top Forger family moments is that scene right there, and I think they handled that perfectly in the anime. I think the only complaint I've seen anybody say about that scene was that they wanted to see Lloyd unbutton his shirt.
That was me. I made that joke.
Well, like, there you go, folks.
Hey, you can't blame a girl for asking. It wasn't fair. Just me. You just said everyone else.
It wasn't just you. It wasn't.
Yeah. So
the fandom demands it, Lloyd. Take your shirt off.
Yeah. Why don't you be shirtless every once in a while, guys? Right, that's so much to ask for.
Okay. This is. I'm still waiting for that, because me and Senpai have had this for the longest time.
God.
I want to see him without his shirt off, like at a pool or something like that, or at the beach. And people are just like, why the fuck is this doctor shredded as hell? Like, it's so suspicious. And like, nobody points it out. And I'm like, I don't know. Perfect comedy moment, Endo. Like, give us shirtless Lloyd, and you're being like, wait a minute.
we just talked about Endo being like, oh, I can't believe I had to make Lloyd hot. This sucks.
God, now I gotta draw chiseled abs.
And girls falling all over him. I hate this shit.
Oh, God. Come on, Endo. Just give us the opportunity for Twior. That's all I'm asking.
Come on. She got to see her hot husband, man.
Right.
Give her something, man. Come on. Let him be a slut once in a while.
Let there be sluts.
Oh, God.
Well, that was the last of our brain cells.
Is there anything else to talk about?
You did bring up the chapter 10 bonus.
Roski did. That's right.
Roski did.
Super cute stuff.
I could probably put it in the little screen up there. I'll try to anyway. But it's so adorable,
cute. It's just the Forger family is babies, and there's puppy Bond,
and not just the Forger family. We got Frankie, we got Sylvia, we got Mr. Henderson, which trips me out. Like, he looks like such an old man as a child.
He looks so mean, which is so hilarious. He looks like a thug practically, which is
he kind of does. Maybe. Was Henderson a delinquent when he was a child?
Oh my God, I hope that's true. I want that. I want Henderson's like old gang to come back and be like, man, you turned into like such a uptight little asshole. You used to be cool, man. It's like, yeah, well, I'm elegant now, bitch.
I'm elegante, motherfucker.
Yeah. Oh God.
That'd be great.
But it was just really cute to see, like, I think it was just really jarring to see, oh my God, it's like, Lloyd gets to be just a child in the sketch.
Yeah.
After everything that happened to him, he's just a kid. And he's got like his little puppy best friend Bond.
Yeah. Oh my god, puppy bond is everything I never knew I needed.
Yeah, like I was saying, like I literally wrote a fic with Bond being best friends with Puppy Bond, and it just came true.
Yeah.
It was great. Oh god.
I also love the little where like, okay, so Anya's got the peanuts and the cards because she knows she's a card shark, and then Yuri's got his zoo books, and then yours got cricket
Badminton
or
It's
badminton.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a reference to the tennis match or what, or if she played badminton when she was a kid.
But it's great. I love it. Yours being sporty, and she's
so sporty.
They're just so cute. I love that she had like a little bow headband thing as a kid.
Yeah.
And then, like, Yuri just looks annoyed.
Yeah.
As always. Lloyd looks more confused, if anything.
Right. I wonder how old they are here. Like,
well, I always thought Lloyd was probably, like, I don't know, 8 or 9 or something.
Yeah.
Because he's been living... It wasn't... I'm trying to... I believe he was going through the war for, like, 10 years at that point.
Yeah.
Maybe... At the very least, he might have been at the youngest, I think 7, because I just know that he joined the army before he was 18. Yeah. So that could have been when he was 17 or 16 or something. But he looks a little too big to be, like, 6. So maybe like 7 or 8.
Well, the only thing that threw me off was Yuri. Like, I don't know if Endo's playing with any rules here, but, like, Yuri's 7 years younger than yours. So like,
he would not even exist right now.
Right, so he's probably just like, just all of them as kids. It doesn't matter what age they are, so...
Just to be cute about it, yeah.
Just to be cute, which I have no problem with whatsoever.
I have no problem with that either.
Give us more cute stuff.
Yeah. Actually, you should probably cut this out, but
Go on.
So, okay, it was in Sin Bin, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
And yours totally gonna get by both of them. I cut this all out.
Yeah, cut this out.
Yeah,
watch,
no, please.
I'm gonna include the whole thing. I'm just gonna bleep half of it.
Don't do that, man. Don't do that.
I just might.
No, I don't want people to know.
We'll see.
God.
At the risk of not sounding like horny fucks, we're gonna end it here.
Jesus Christ, man.
Well, that's Operation STRIX podcast, everybody. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all again soon. Bye.
Bye. Oh my god.
Fuck.